Welcome back, Reiner. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. You have to change your banner.
And yes, it's kind of, but because we started with making this a 40-year interview, I thought even if we go into the second session, I should keep the surrounding the same. Uh, I will put a 2 in there because soon, so we'll be 42, and I'm sure that looking at the number of questions where there is a mathematical issue, you have set ourselves up for a sequel after a sequel after a sequel.
I
So
know
we
it
will soon
depends how
reach
long we get through
42,
today. Yeah, I mean, we could have more sequels into the future for sure.
because in the middle of last interview, we only had covered one question. You said you wrote down a total of 40
40,
questions.
42.
And and then at
Well,
the
40,
end,
40, yeah.
because at the end you said, now we have done 4 questions, we're left with 38. And I didn't know the mathematics of that, but now I understand you started with 42. Have you sneaked in a few extra ones, or
Oh
are
no,
we
so I went back to my list and I made it be 42 because I feel like that's the number we have to have,
good?
which I feel you might agree with. That might be a good number.
This is a good number. So,
Yeah.
but we'll probably reach the year 42 before we covered all of them. So,
Okay,
okay, let's go.
possible.
Very good. Thank you for inviting me again, and also
Yeah,
to
you're welcome.
everybody,
Thank you for
Happy
giving
New
us your
Year,
time.
and
Happy New
all the
Year.
best to everybody.
Absolutely. I have to quiz you first before we start.
You have to, okay?
Because remember, I quizzed you last time. If you don't remember, we talked about your top games owned in
Oh,
the
yes,
Board Game
yes, yes.
Geek.
Top five. Okay,
Do you remember
exactly.
that? Do you remember those?
The
I can run them
top
down real
five.
quick for people
I
that,
can remember them, the top five owned games.
right.
We started with number three, which was Ra, yes.
Yeah.
And then I think I guessed something, and it was Modern Art with four, and or Euphrates and Tigers was five. First of all, the first two were very difficult. El
Yep.
Dorado was two, but we were having a long time, which was so natural, but it just didn't come off my lips. So, Lost Cities.
Perfect memory. That's awesome. Well, I've got a new question for you. Well, I've got two. Well, hopefully we'll do two. Um, so do you know what the weight of a game is on Board Game Geek? Do you know that concept of weight?
Of course, I know the weight from 1 to 5.
So
Yes, I
one to
guess.
five, it's kind of what do you call that? Subjective.
Complexity or playing
It's a
depth.
subjective
Yeah.
number.
You know,
How difficult a game is between one and five, whatever
yeah.
your feeling is in your world. So I've got your top.
And you know that publishers use that to communicate their brief to us. So I have one
Really?
publisher in China who usually says, okay, anything up to Board Game Geek level two, difficulty two.
That's
And
fascinating.
and so the people, and it's really a good measure. So you have introduced a
Interesting.
measurement into the world, which is very useful. Well
Huh.
done.
Like I think I told you, I we talked about the rating system last time, but this was very quick. One day of work. Let's come up with a weight scale. Anyway, interesting that it's in the communications. Do you know what your top five highest weighted games are? What do you think those are?
Oh,
Your highest weight.
oh, that's a
And I've
difficult.
got the weights. I've got the weights. I don't have the ranks, but they're in order of rank.
I think, well, no, I don't know. It didn't even occur to me to look that up, but I think Tigers and Freighters needs to be there.
Okay, where would you put that on the list?
As I, for wanting a better game, I think number one, but I don't
Yep,
know.
you are correct
Yes,
with that. You are
okay.
correct.
What else is so
So, yeah,
great?
what else do you think?
Well, there could be some of the Egyptians. There must be more Egyptians, isn't there?
Yeah, there is an Egyptian game on the list. Yeah,
Then it might be. Which one? It's not Ra. I think that's not as complex.
it's not
Uh,
raw.
no, but it could be Egyptian. No, I wanted to say Taj Mahal, but that's no, I don't say Taj Mahal. I'm not embarrassing me. Um,
It's kind of a I mean, it's one of your, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to give you a hint. It
Yeah.
is Egyptian.
Yes.
I believe it's Egyptian. The name is Egyptian in my mind.
Okay.
There are pyramids in the game.
Okay. Yes, it's the name escapes me. Where you build the pyramids left and right to
Oh,
the
on the Nile, right? Or is that
yeah,
the,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And
which one is,
it's the auction system where you everybody wins part of the auction and you go up and down. My God. Um,
I put you on the spot. You're probably
I think
blanking.
it's somewhere there with the
It's
awards.
the name of a god. It's a god's name. At least I think it is. I could be wrong.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't say it anymore. Tell me.
Starts with an A.
It's an A. Amun Ray, of course.
Amun
Of
Ray.
course.
There you go.
That's
You
what
got
I
it.
want to say. Of
You
course, yes.
knew it.
Yes. I'm so
Okay.
nervous. I can't think, you know.
I know. I've got you on this. I've got you stuck. Okay. So there's you got any more? You got three more.
Well, Amun Ray is quite clear.
By the way, Amun Ray was ranked 3.03.
Okay.
And then Tiger's Euphrates was 3.48. So the ones in between are also in the threes, 3.08. Both actually have
Is
both
it the
3.08
Siege
as
of
an average.
Runedar?
No,
No.
no, no, no.
What else is there? It's not
You might have to
Samurai.
go back on some of these. Some of these are well, one
It,
one is pretty new. It's
um, it's not El Dorado. It's
well, there's
it,
a bit of a cheat here. There
yeah.
are games that are very similar to Tigris and Euphrates on this list, or one other game that's similar to Tigris and Euphrates on this list.
There is no list, no game similar to
Oh,
Tiger. It is unique.
not a single one. Oh, they are unique for sure, but they are let's say they are inspired by or they have similarities to. It's a color. It's a name of a color.
Name of a color. I have
Yeah.
indigo, but that's completely.
Uh, it's also a river. It's got a river in it.
Oh, yellow and Yangtze.
Yellow and Yangtze is number two, which is not
Okay.
surprising.
Okay, okay. Now I understand. Yellow and Yangtze I see as a sister game, so I see them in the same family, and
Yeah,
as they
I
are kind of derivatives of each other, with a deliberate derivative of it, then I'm not surprised. Yes, because it's the same degree of difficulty essentially. Yes, and the other two I have to say I have to pass.
so a train game. Train
Oh,
game.
Stevenson's Rocket. Yes, yes, that's
Stevenson's
nice.
Rocket. That's number four. And number three, I didn't know this was this may not be a standalone game, but maybe it is. Um, the Lord of the Rings Battlefields.
Oh.
Is that a standalone game? I might have a
No,
systematic
it is
problem
not.
here.
It is not.
It's an expansion.
It's an expansion to the Lord of the Rings, so they
That
go
may
for.
be a flaw in the Board Game Geek system then,
There is a
because it put
flaw.
it, yeah, it's supposed to only show the games, not the expansions.
Yeah, but why not? I mean, the expansion certainly puts something on top of the Lord of the Rings game, so it
Yeah, I
makes it.
never played that one. I don't even think I was able to buy that one. That was the fourth expansion, I think, or
Yeah,
because it was like
that was by
three
Fantasy
or
Flight.
third. Yeah,
Well, we had the first expansion, which was the Friends and Foes, and then came the Sauron expansion, and I think the Battlefields,
Battlefields
that
was number
was
three.
more a limited edition where you had the enemies come on a separate board and you had to take care of them and so on. Yes, yeah.
Gosh,
Okay.
that game should
Very
come back.
interesting. So you did put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I
Do
prepared myself for this interview for months, you know, and
you were studying?
it did really, really not come to my mind to look at that.
I've got one more question for you if you want to play the stat. It's another statistics game. From the opposite end of the scale, your top ranked lightest weight games. Top five.
But this is very difficult because
I know
uh,
it's tough.
you know we have some very successful games like Affenbande with
Affenbande.
Ravensburger, which has
Okay.
sold more than 1 million copies, but it's
Interesting.
completely goes under the radar because it's 4+ game, and of course people in Board Game Geek would not really comment on it, would not really do something on it. So with this respect, I think um, with this ranking, Board Game Geek is a little bit blurred. So
Uh,
that
well, your number one is basically also your um one of your most owned games. It's in the list of, it's a crossover, so it's in the list of the most owned, right? Does that make sense?
Wow. It's a simple
So
one.
it's on the it's a 1.475 on the scale of the Board Game Geek weight.
No, I'm blank on
It's a
this
card
one.
game. It's a card game on your it's a Lost Cities.
Drama?
Lost Cities.
Oh, Lost Cities.
That's the lowest.
Wonderful.
That's the lightest weight, highest rank game you have, at least on Board Game Geek.
Okay. The lightest weight, highest ranked games.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Do you
I
want to
basically
put a
took the lowest
third
weighted
parameter in?
games.
Okay. But
Yeah,
I
it's
think
tricky.
I'm blank on this one because if I take my really light games, then these are children's games, and they would not show up here.
Gotcha.
So
Uh, well, to put your mind at ease, I'll give you the other four. Number
okay,
two is High Society, which is a 1.48. Number three
okay,
is Picomino, which is a 1.15. That's quite light.
okay.
That means people mostly rated a 1 out of 5. Yeah.
Hmm.
Botswana is number 4.
Okay.
And number 5 is My City Roll and Build.
Wow.
Is that a what? Is that a lightweight game? I don't know. I feel like it's not that light.
Well, you see, you Board Game Geek is something for the gamers and for the enthusiasts, as we all know. So you would not find the very casual player on there who plays their very usual, very simple, easy games. So with this respect, I serve many different markets, mass markets and children's games, and these would just simply be blacked out on Board Game Geek. Yes. So with this respect, these are certainly not my most lightweight games, but these are the ones which have been picked
Gotcha.
up by
They're
the
the ones
game.
that the geeks. It's probably an audience bias there, right? Like
Yes,
the audience
exactly.
is,
Exactly.
it's a geek audience.
Yes, yes, that's what the name says.
Exactly. By the way, if you want to, we have a limited run of these Reiner Knizia shirts, which he graciously gave us the opportunity to create, which I think, and he's wearing a Board Game Geek shirt. I'm wearing a Reiner shirt, so that's appropriate.
Okay, I'm wearing this one.
Woo, thanks, Reiner. Look at that.
Yeah.
I
But
quite
you have
like
a
this one.
very limited edition, so
Yeah, they're
last
pretty
year
limited.
you
So
had
if you want one,
3,000 people watching live, and probably we'll have more than 3,000 this time. So the 100 t-shirts you made are now gone
it's
in
not going to be
no
enough. Well, we'll
time.
reprint. We'll reprint if we need to. We'll reprint. Okay. Let's go to my question, by the way. So we were talking about your game retreats, which was quite intriguing to me because I know in the corporate world here in America, we do retreats. I don't know if they're the same for you. Is it a corporate retreat? Is it a personal retreat? Is it a design retreat? Can you explain about the retreats?
Yes, we alluded to that last in the first interview, and then we just ran out of time. And you wanted to cover it in the last 3 minutes. I
Yeah,
remember.
that's not
I
possible. Yeah.
think, I think there's a bit more to say about this. So thank you for giving us a new opportunity for that. Um, it is it is a corporate retreat, but for me personally. So it's not a holiday. It's business. It's work in a way. I don't feel it as work because game design for me is not work. It energizes me. But maybe to give you some background. Um, if you are, everybody starts as a little amateur designer and you design 2 or 3 games a year, and then you have a portfolio of 5, 6 games, and some of them have already been published if you're lucky. And then you say, what do I do with my 3 or 5 games? And can I add another one this year? The world is very simple. In the meantime, I sign about 150 license agreements each year.
Wow.
So that's about 3 a week. Yes.
That's
With,
amazing.
with,
Okay.
with publishers all over the world. We have direct license partners well into the 3 figures. Yes. So with this respect, a license agreement is not just, okay, send me the papers. It's showing a lot of games to lots of publishers to make these 3 hits a week on average. Showing the games, corresponding about them, answering questions about them, sending out prototypes, getting prototypes back, talking about which license rights, and so on, and so on, and so on. So that's a big, so to speak, first build up to getting there. But once the license agreement is signed, not everything is done, of course. Then it's the liaison process. The one which is most time consuming for me is checking the rules. Publishers have a big, big temptation to rewrite the rules and gobble them all up, and you don't recognize your own game anymore, and it becomes sometimes a very tiring task to tell publishers or to try to convince publishers that people will not understand the game if we leave the rules like this, and so sometimes it's a bloodshed. And I'm very critical on this, and I want to be very critical on this because I want, a lot of people say, I don't understand the rules, I'm too stupid. That's the mass market. And no, people are not too stupid. The publishers are too stupid, sometimes the designer, to really write up the rules properly. So what I say is there is this process. Then, of course, there come the royalty statements. They come for years, so it sums up. And then there's the whole bookkeeping, there is the whole contract management, there is the overview of what rights are available, what rights are given to whom, when do we get rights back, and so on. So not to talk about accounting and taxes and so on and so on and so on. And the bureaucracy is unbelievable in Germany. So having said all this, I have a wonderful team around me. Essentially for two areas. Britta is heading the licensing, so she does all the parts until we get a license agreement. And then I have Michelle, French lady, who looks at the operational side, so everything that happens after signing the contract. And so that keeps my back free a little bit to actually do what I should do, because I think I do that best, and that's design games. I have also lots of fun to go and show games to the publishers, go to the fairs. I even checking royalty statements and see where the money goes and what sells and what sells. It's all exciting, but you can't do everything in one life. And I may only have one life. So I built this game, this team very deliberately, but I kept it small, the team. So because with every member you add, it's a big complexity. We have a big group of playtesters, as we discussed last time, but the full-time team who is working day by day on this is relatively small. We have a few part-timers, and this allows me to withdraw from the business. We have also for very deliberate purposes, we have two offices, so to speak. We have the operational office, which is just a few hundred yards down the road. And we have here, in the studio, yes. And the studio is the creative work. There's also a hot desk for operational sites here and so on, because we have a big storage and our libraries here. But coming back to your question, nevertheless, of course, I'm involved in the operational business and in the business overall. So having the opportunity, due to the excellent team, to actually say once a quarter, I go away for 2 weeks. And I ask, and they understand that my colleagues, you run it, unless the house burns down, you decide, you do what needs to be done. And which encourages them and gives them the freedom to run things as they like. And on the other hand, I can really lock myself away. And now I come to the design retreats. That means I would book myself usually in a holiday flat, or sometimes in the hotel, not very far away. Usually I can reach that within an hour by public transport. Sometimes I go to Vienna, my favorite city. That's a bit further down the road, or down the train track. And I take a lot of projects with me. And essentially, this is the time where I only get energy. So energy, energy, energy. Usually, I cannot stay in bed. I get up at 4 o'clock usually, but it will not hold me in bed until 4. So I'm up at 2 o'clock, and it's already in my mind, and I would be working on designs. I may be collapsing in the afternoon and take a nap or so. It doesn't matter. And I'm allowed 1 hour out, but otherwise I sit there and I design. Design means two things. Design means I have finished prototypes. Last time I mentioned I had 8 finished games, tested finished, but the rules need to be written up, the graphics need to be smoothened and so on, so that it can really be produced and shown to the publishers before I forget the rules. And so this is one part, but the other part, of course, is also to take deeper designs where I want to revolutionize the world. I always want to revolutionize the world, but it's not so easy. So sitting there and knowing I can stick with it for days and see what comes up. Sometimes I get stuck, then I go to the next one. I always take too many projects, but this is the 2 weeks. And when people think I was on holiday, no, I come back exhausted and I need a holiday. But it
Yeah.
really made a difference to me personally because it's a wonderful time to do what I really want to do, most want to do. And the other thing is it's also very productive and it gets more of these games going and going also in a dynamic manner, which sometimes it needs. You cannot do deep designs within an hour and then you have this and you have that and so on. Yeah. So these are my wonderful design retreats, which I introduced since I'm back in Munich.
Right. So 2 weeks out of every quarter. So 8 weeks a year.
Yep.
Interesting. It sounds so grueling because I've gone to corporate retreats and I've done retreats, and it's like the intensity of a retreat for that long a period of time, just for me, seems a bit tough. Like, how do you, is it just so burning inside of you that it's just, you can't hold it back? Is that the nature of your,
I think I mentioned last time, and I, I have the curse of new ideas. So I'm very grateful for it, but it's also a little bit of a curse because every idea, it needs nurturing. And it's, and for me, when I'm tired, so when I'm in the office or in the design studio and I work on some other tasks and I get tired, I stop that and I start designing because I know designing, I get into the zone, I forget the time, and it just flows and flows and flows. Sometimes I feel guilty for designing because I should do other tasks, but on the other hand, I tell myself, no, if I don't design, the business will stop. So with this respect, it's not grueling. It's fantastic. It's very intense, but it enlightens me. It energizes me. I don't. Yes, it's intense, but I love it. And when you love it, and when you get into the zone, you don't feel it. You don't know it. It's
okay.
just always too short.
Have you ever been on a retreat where you hit a roadblock and you just had to go home or do something different? Just
No, not
sorry.
at all. I mean,
No.
yeah, frequently I hit roadblocks with games, yes. So Jack, it doesn't work because there's no testing, there's nothing. It's just analytical work and research and so on. So sometimes I get stuck with a game, or sometimes I say, okay, I need to stop now, we need to test it and so on. That is frequent, yes, but not with, I have not got a writer's block or a designer's block. That's I have never had that. That
Interesting. Yeah. That's, you're lucky, I think, then, because I think a lot of
I'm
creative people hit those blocks and
I I
shuts
am
down.
I am very lucky, yes, and I'm very happy to be cursed.
Sure.
Yes.
Um, do you feel like, you know, uh, this extrovert introvert theory where people who are extroverted, they gain energy from other people and introverts gain energy from being by themselves? Are you an introvert? And because the 2 weeks recharges you, is there, you basically have no contact with anyone for 2 weeks, as I understand.
Yeah, no personal contact. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you take
No,
a computer?
this is a nice question because a lot of people who meet me and see me on the stage and so on, they might guess I'm extrovert and I'm there. If I go to events, yes, I will be. I mean, there's no point if you go to an event or to a fair and sit in the corner and, and so then I'm there, but it takes energy out of me. I mean, it's a wrong word to say, it tires me. I mean, so it takes energy. So I can't do it too long. I'm not a party animal. When I'm with other people, particularly with big crowds, I can hold out for a while and play it for a while and I enjoy it. But this is not really, it is me as well, but I'm an introvert. a very strong introvert. I can sit somewhere for 2 hours, 2 weeks, and have no contact to anybody and live in my world, and it's absolutely fine for me.
So I think you're similar to me as an outgoing introvert.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yes.
I think that's what I call myself.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Feel like there's more to talk about with these design retreats. Is there any other things that we would be interested to know about them? Like, is there any tools you use when you're on the breaks? Like, or works, I guess. It's a work break.
I mean, you
Do you bring
see.
like, do you look at art or do you do anything in to inspire you in any way? Like, I know you have nature, but anything else?
I mean, I have boxes and boxes full of games and concepts and so on. So I take uh, I was just away beginning of December, and I think I took 28 projects. I'm mad. So
28.
I
What's your
got
organization for that? How do you store all that stuff?
Well, you
Is it
know my
just
drawers.
folders? It's
You
just
draw
a
my no
drawer?
no we have our prototype boxes, yes, so it's
Okay.
bit bigger than normal letter size, yes, and so or A4, and so I just take them out of the drawers and put them in there what I need, and and I lay them all out because I don't need the flat or whatever. I lay them all out. I first will take apart the sofa and everything and lay them all out, so they all stare at me. I'm a visual person, and then I pick this one and pick that one, and they're prioritized a little bit. And yeah, I got about 8. Well, the problem is I got about 7 done. Some of them were smaller, which I needed to write up because I wanted to finish more games because I'm still left with the 8 I didn't do, because then I came back with 4 new games.
That's awesome.
What can you do?
You doubled it. Have you ever this is a 43rd question, by the way. This might mess up our number. I'm inserting it, so maybe I'll still keep it to 42. But have you ever thought about like apprenticing, like an apprentice sort of like a teacher, like where you work with someone else like that as a
Like
because
like
that's
the
like the
like the
is that
Picassos of this world, where I
yeah, like
say,
a
"Oh,
Picasso.
my pictures." It doesn't really work for me. It's it's a strange thing. I don't know how people can. I mean, it's the same with drawing. How apprentices can draw pictures of the masters. I'm sorry for calling myself a master. I mean the
I think that's the term.
drawers, painters. Um, it's I don't have the mission to grow 50 other designers or so. They grow themselves. It's for me, it's the same as co-designs. They usually don't work for me. Yes, I do a lot of work with Sebastian Bliestel. We discuss a lot of things. He's a genius, and we see him on an NLP level have the exact firing channels, and so few words said, complete understanding, and that is very enjoyable. And sometimes, if he gets really involved, then he will also be on the box, very deservedly on the box, and very often the credits. But this back and forth, because my design process is very intense from one day to the next day to the next day, as we discussed last time. How can a second designer come in there? And when you have, and there's nobody here employed in inverted commas for the design process, because I think it's very hard to sit at your desk and press out creativity all day. So I have this vast group of playtesters, and they add a lot of creativity, as we discussed. But I think I have found my way how to do it, and this is just how things work, and there's nothing else I need. I mean, I have a brilliant programmer. I mean, I don't have him, but I'm working with a brilliant programmer, Ross English. So when we need to take simulations, make a nice shell, he made a very wonderful shell where we can actually, via Excel spreadsheets, program games. So we have this kind of almost like a parser, if you are in
Sure.
the IT world. Uh, where you make the Excel spreadsheet and you can design a game, and the laptop will then actually run that game like on a target chip, and we have text to speech, so it will speak to you. If you just have to use the keyboard to put the inputs in there and so on. So yes, there are people who contribute very important aspects to it, but the core design process is driven by me, and I think having, what do you say, as an apprentice would probably more hold me up. You need to feed the apprentice and so on. The same way I don't hold lectures at university, because it's a very intense process and it keeps me away from, I think, from my mission. Yes.
Gotcha. It makes sense. I think we I think we got the gist of it. Unless you wanted to add something.
You were just blocked for 2-3 seconds. So if
Oh,
you,
sorry about that. I was basically asking if you wanted any more anything else about retreats or
you asked me one other question, which I think alludes to also an important aspect, and I know you want to grill me with all these questions, so you will slowly understand that I give very long answers so that you won't get your questions in, so that we
you
get
have to
away
keep going.
from the
I know your
Spanish
strategy now. I know
Inquisition,
your
from
strategy.
the Dallas Inquisition, yes. So when you ask me what tools do I have or so, there are no magic tools. I mean, I see myself over recent years spending more and more time in front of the screen, so in the laptop or desktop or whatever, because in a way, not deliberate, but my design process has evolved into kind of a holistic approach. So I don't, of course, I start somewhere, and we discussed that I do research, that I read, and then pictures build into my head, and Tigers and Fairies we discussed, and kingdoms come, kingdoms go, and how do I that reflect that, and can you have any weaknesses? So this then, I mean, I'm just looking to the world, and I just look at it, and if you look at it the right way, you see the mechanisms, yes? So I maybe have the sight, you never know, but
Yeah.
other people have other sites. But what happens is that I'm not doing the design in isolation. So even before the first prototype goes onto the table, I of course would close my eyes and would play it and have the complete rules already there. So I usually write up the complete rules, not in a final version of the game. So I have a basis to comment and then change and change and change, so I can see the process. But I would also do an initial set of graphics, so it's not just a handwritten quick and dirty, which sometimes is more effective, but it's not my way to work. So that means essentially we develop our initial clip art graphic together with the rules, together with all the other components in there. And so when the game gets onto the table, it's not just the mechanics that get tested, but it's also, okay, these spaces are too small, the cards are not right, these icons are misleading, and so on and so on. So it's a holistic approach that when we have essentially tested everything and then we are done, the prototype is also done. I said I need to then write up the rules in a proper manner, but it's not about reinventing the rules. It's just sharpening so that people can see them, and it's complete and nicely explained, and also to make the final fixes to the components. But it has all been done in a way so that everything fits together. So I'm not going and say, I have the game and now let's do the graphics and now let's design the board, because then you haven't tested that. So the advantage of that is everything gets tested as a whole, and that makes the testing process most effective, and you get the best holistic product. And therefore, with this respect, I sit in front of the laptop most of the time, and I do the graphics. It's clip art. It's not final graphics, because each publisher has their own style to do it. and work on this. And I have a mini printer, and I can print out some things, but don't really need it on a design retreat. And that's how it works. So there are no magic tools. Yes, of course we have a special printer here which can print on very thick paper, so that it's not those which run it through and bend it 180 degrees. I
Right,
had
but
one of this.
double.
I had one
Yeah.
of them in England, and it ran through, and then it spit out all the from the cog wheels. It spit them out, the teeth and so on, the little things. So I have one which loads from the back naturally, and so it just runs through the thick paper. And so
Do you
these are tools you build, but essentially it's this process. It's no
gotcha.
magic, no magic devices,
Then you're
no
down to
3D printing.
are you are you cutting and gluing
Yeah,
pieces or yeah?
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
yes, we are. I mean, cutting
oh.
is in the cards and so on. I mean, cutting cards and cutting boards, printing posters, and then putting the boards together. Yes, um, that's all easy. And the pieces. I mean, we have a big in the other room behind me. We have a big library of pieces. It's we have big boxes. We have we had 250 boxes full of pieces. And we
Of the
have
spare
just brought them
pieces.
down to, because I looked at it and said, we have brought them 8 years ago from England, and we've never touched this box and so on. Do we really need that? So we whittled that down to 100 boxes now, where the key things are in there. But and the others I put out, and the playtesters quickly gobbled them up and so on. Yes, lots of stuff. But that
People like
means
pieces. Gamers like pieces.
well, it's like keycaps, yes. So
Yeah.
it's pieces, and when I need pieces, usually I can go there and find them. Otherwise, you go online to the shops, and everything's there.
Do you have a 3D printer by chance?
No, I do not
No?
have a 3D printer. That's again, Sebastian Bliestel has one. So if we do something special, we did once or twice something for logic puzzles, and then he's a genius to do that.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay.
Wow, I
I'm
look at
trying
the
to see if I've got
time. I
anything
look
about
at the
my actually
time.
I know we've already got more than half of our time is gone, by the way. We only have a writer for an hour, so I'm gonna try to get as much I can out of him.
Okay.
Um, I would like any games you have in development right now that you want to talk about? Was there anything?
Well, uh, the situation here is I try to work very professionally on my designs and deliver complete products to the publisher. That's what perfect products, if you want. That's what the publisher can expect. I also expect the publisher to be very professional and do their job. Their job is to produce the game, write the rules properly, and so rewrite my rules properly without disfiguring them,
Right.
and for their audience in their style, because every publisher has their own style. Do the graphics and produce the game, but then also to market the game. So I will not interfere with them in a way and say, okay, look, I'm doing this here and I'm doing that here, and
Right.
uh, and then interfere with the announcements. But on the other hand, I have, so what is in development, what is even not even discussed, not even found a publisher, is difficult to do, because I'm paranoid that, there are so many of my ideas still out there in the universe, and some people try to steal my ideas even before I have them.
Oh
And
no.
I should have
You,
had this
it's
idea.
like
Why?
if it's in the what do you call that? What do you call that?
Ether.
The ether. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember that.
Yeah, the universe. But in
I
any
see what you're saying.
case, so but in a way, we alluded to, why don't we make a little announcement or a little secret every time? And I think I can reveal one almost secret. I think.
We like secrets, gamers. We like secrets.
Um, so of course, you have played it many times. You know Rebirth.
I have not played Rebirth. I was afraid you were going to ask me about that, but so I'll tell my story about Rebirth real quickly, but then I want to hear everything about Rebirth.
And then
I
tell us
bought
the
it
rules
two
about
years
Rebirth.
ago.
Okay.
I wish I could talk to more about it. I bought it 2 years ago with the intention of bringing it to BGDCon because I bring a bunch of games for like a little personal library at BGDCon, by the way. Uh, and I wanted to play it, and I've not. It's been sitting on that library for 2 years. So I'm embarrassed to say I have not played Rebirth, but I am dying to play Rebirth. So I would love to hear your perspective of Rebirth. And there was a question in the chat actually about Rebirth. There's some live viewers here, by the way. This won't count against my 42. Um,
Oh,
uh,
excuses.
what was the main reason for choosing the theme of Rebirth, and how did that theme influence the core mechanics?
Oh my God. How much time do we have? 20
We
minutes
got,
left? I
yeah, we
think
got 20. Think
this will
that'll
take
cover it.
20 minutes now because it's now a Rebirth, it's now the theme, and explaining Rebirth and the secret. Okay. So,
A
um,
lot.
Rebirth. First of all, what was the reason for choosing the theme? Um, I lived in England. I went to England for 18 months. That was through my banking career, my finance career. And I stayed there for 23 years. I gave up my job and did designs and so on with a very nice testing team around me and friends around me. So, and then finally, Brexit kicked me out. But I'm not making political statements. So I always thought I need to do something about England, and I mean England is one part, but then Great Britain or the United Kingdom. There is a difference between the United Kingdom and Great Britain, but I will not query you on that. So in any case, I said I need to do something there. I want to do something there. There's a rich history there. Well, actually, the history of England is very simple. There is only one important date in British history or in English history. That is
Is that the Magna Carta? I don't remember the date.
not quite. No, that's
No.
also an important thing, but no, it's 1066.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that
William the
number.
Conqueror.
I couldn't tell you why that. Okay.
William the Conqueror comes from France and takes over the country and beats the Saxons, and then comes the Doomsday Book where he wanted to see what actually he owns and so on. Yes, so that's the
Okay.
earlier time. That's pre-parliamentary stuff and so on. What you allude to, yes. So I mean, essentially, England. It's more the southern part, but it's a very sad country because they get ruled by the French because they came over, William the Conqueror, and they hated the French. And they have a German king because the origins of the House of Windsor comes from Germany. So, but I don't make political statement, but that's more a joke. So I said I need to make something to cheer the sad people up. And so I said 1066 is the one date I want to do something about. And I made a game about 1066. A nice, wonderful game. It was published, but the publisher wanted to change the theme. And so it became Taj Mahal.
Oh, interesting.
Taj Mahal was 1066, the little
Okay.
regions
Yeah.
and the connections and so on. So I said, okay, I give it a second try. I have another one, a 1066, the Doomsday Book. You write down, you do all of this. I found a publisher. Yes, we'll do it, but we'll change the theme. And became Sumatra. So it's now catching all
Okay.
the pictures and all the things, and it was the perfect doomsday book. You had all the things you wrote down in your the tiles you put down there and tried to build up. And you were the one traveling for William the Conqueror and tell him, look, I found all these valuable things for you, and look, you can be very proud. So I failed twice in a way. So I said, maybe I can sneak it in through the back door and I do a game about Scotland.
Okay.
And I almost
Interesting.
succeeded because I showed the game to Mighty Boards, the publishers of Reapers. And they said, yes, we like it, but we'll give it a different slant and we make it a post-apocalyptic scenario. We are still in Scotland, and the game mechanics as such didn't change very much. We did some changes, we added something to it, but essentially it was the core game, just seen as, well, you play it in this different viewpoint of we are imagining, we are rethinking the values of the past. You have the castles, you have the cathedrals, and that fits very nicely in there. So that's how we got, so how I could protect Scotland, but it's saving Scotland after this collapse. And then, of course, the publisher came and said, "Yeah, but we have a back of the board." I said, "Oh God." And so I said, "Okay, I'll do a back of the board." And that was quite an intense work again. And I said, "Okay, I need to choose something." So I chose Ireland, because Ireland has the round towers and so on. So this is how the theme and how the game came together. Now, you asked me the second thing, that is, how is it played? Well, I always say I'm proud of my games. I am proud of my games. I'm sorry.
Should be.
Well, what is very nice of what I think is very nice of what I like about because the mechanics, the game, because that's exactly the core of my wishes in the design. It's a very simple approach. You have one tile in your hand, so everybody has their own set of tiles, which is your color. But you
Yes.
shuffle them and you have only one in your hand. So there's no big choice of, oh, which one should I play? And the downtime goes up and up and up. So you have one
I like
tile
that.
and you have it in your hand already. You draw it at the end of your turn. You can think all the time around. And when it's your turn, you play this one tile on the board and then you score it. And there are various things how you score the various you want to make bigger influence clusters. You want to be around the castles. You get extra mission cards when you go for a pilgrimage around a cathedral. So there are a number of things there, and it's this burning issue. Not just they want to steal my ideas from the universe, but I need to go there and there and there. I've only got one tile. What do I do? He on she and what and this is the panic you have. And so very simple rule. Take your tile, place it, score it. Next tile, place it, score it. And when all the tiles are played, there's hardly any final scoring. There's the missions which are secret, so you turn them up. But everything else has been scored and you have a winner. And this is Rebirth on both sides. The rules, the basic rules are the same, but then there are special things. So the round towers, the historic round towers in Ireland and so on. So you have some other things there. So that was part two. So part two was how did we get to the theme? Detour over 1066. Second is
Got it.
how do we play it? In very brief, but it is very simple, but it's deep. Don't
No,
underestimate
I'm
it.
it's going to
Basic
my
one time
table.
with
We're
the
gonna play
board.
it this weekend, actually.
Don't
I'm gonna put
don't.
it to the table.
And the third thing is what is the kind of the revelation? It's well, it's not very net. It's not self-evident, but this game, even though it is quite a new release, has been quite successful for us because you got the initial English edition, or maybe even the deluxe edition, with some bigger pieces in there. And now the publisher has found a lot of different localization partners. And that happened with a bit of a delay, and we got the samples recently. And so now we have many different languages. Oh, there's one in the background, actually. Funny. If you see
Yep, I
this.
see it in the corner.
Yeah. And so we have many different editions, and they are just rolling out. Unfortunately, the German edition didn't make it for us, and so it was just a little bit late. But we have now got many publishers. And so it was quite natural that in the discussion with the publisher, we came up, and it was actually during one of my design retreats, because the timing, usually I don't do that, but the timing was so that we wanted to discuss the project and then a new project. And then it came in, and I got in there and said, and so we came up with the idea, why don't we do a second Rebirth 2? And that's not yet publicly fully announced. So I'm giving away secrets. The publisher will kill me. It's your
I'm
fault
sure they'll probably be okay with
because
it.
you bullied me into it. But
I know. I strong armed you.
So, and I'm actually going a little bit deeper into that. This was during the design retreat in Vienna in June. So it's only half a year ago. And
Oh, that's pretty fast.
it really caught me, and I got very enthusiastic about it. It was during the beginning of my design retreat. So all my plans for the design retreat went upside down, and I spent lots of time researching it. And I I know, I mean, as we talked about Tigers and Euphrates and Yellow and Yangtze, these are two sister games, but they need to offer, it's not just a Me Too, they need to offer something fundamentally new. And I think I found some fundamentally new things, and I knew the publisher said we need two boards. And so I went a bit further back into history. And this is a big secret now. I need to tell you so that
Okay.
that the listeners cannot hear that, only you can hear it.
Okay.
But we will put it on the, I've put it into very history on the Peloponnese, so the very old ancient history. So went back
Okay, gotcha.
and into Italy, because both of these, the Italic League in Italy, of course, you know that very well, with
Oh, I'm
being
very, very well versed with the
an
Italian
expert
elite.
in history. They both had city-states. Greek, we know the city-states, and the ancient Greek. And the city-states bring something very new into the game, because you have a separate territories, and the city-states give you special powers and so on. So now I cannot speak anymore, because I already fear the voodoo doll being pressed into my.
It's already been yanked.
Yeah. So
I get it though. I can already I sense it.
yeah, and so I just finished that and gave it to the publisher. We had agreed that we would do it, and my timing was not that tight, but we played it every day. It just rolled every day, and so it got finished earlier than I thought. But a lot of time went into that, and I gave it to the publisher. And now the publisher has a dilemma. He says. Um, I'm giving away a lot of insights, but I hope the publisher won't mind. But the publisher said, one side of this board is really a nice continuation of this of Rebirth 2, and the other one is actually more a groundbreaking new standalone game, and it's so magnificent because the rules are so simple. Take a tile and do this, and it unfolds in such a magnitude. So we don't know if we should make two games out of this or one.
Oh, okay.
I said, okay, that's up to you, but I'm not going to make two more boards on each side, on the back of the board. And now you have the dilemma, because people are expecting, I want the front and the back of the board. And so if you say we have a groundbreaking new one, yeah, but I'm not going to break another second one on the back, I think, because this is forced. And I found exactly this two combination. And I think they fit good into one box, but that's a discussion. And I think I'm saying this. It's a very harmonic and trustful cooperative discussion with the publisher. But you see the different routes you can take, and what the publisher can actually uh, bring to the game and bring to the party, that they say we could market it this way and that way, and that's very welcome, because we want to find the best way to reach people. But then you get these challenges with oh, we need a backboard, so I do island. Now I need a backboard for this, and I had two backboards. Now we cut them apart, and now we have two single boards, and is this just asking too much to do another two? Because it's not that I'm lazy, but it is, I also need to find the right, what more can I add through the back of the board? And I've done that through the two games. And I said, I'll give one which kind of extends the current Rebirth, and then I give a new expansion, so a new area. So it's something. Okay, I played board three. 1 and 2 is in the first one. I played board three. Nice, there are extra things in there. And now I turn it over and say, wow, that opens a completely new dimension. So for Rebirth 3, which is not even in the planning, then you can base it, you start with the new dimension and go further. So I've said much more than I should have said, so
Well, I
I will be in
appreciate
trouble,
the talk
but
about
this
Rebirth.
is
I'm excited to actually play it. Here's a question. You said so developing these boards, um, and it seems to be a quite a lot of work for that. Is it one of those games that you can't have a modular board, like you have to design the specifics of the thing to
uh,
kind of get across what you want to do?
modular boards give you, so to speak, variety in a very different way. And you need that, for example, in El Dorado, something we will not get to today when I look at the
El
time.
Dorado, yeah.
um, where you have a deck building game and you have the mechanism, but you do not want to have the same game and therefore the same deck building every time. So you need the challenges, you need the modular board. But in other instances, you actually want the clean game and can concentrate on this because the variety comes through what tiles do I play, what tiles do I draw, and in what manner do I play them, what do the other play. So there is enough variety, there is enough challenge. And I find if you then actually change the board each time, it gets into the way because you have no comparison and you kind of lose the ground. Last time it worked like this. Now I need to do it differently down there in Sicily and so on. And if you don't have that, it becomes kind of arbitrary. And so with
Right.
this respect, I want a fixed board, but then when you turn it around, you suddenly have a completely new world and have a new challenge and you can explore this. And these boards do not need the variety because you can play them over and over again and you will always find new challenges on this one fixed board. Yes. So this is
Okay.
the two different things.
Gotcha. Very cool. We're definitely going to play it this weekend. It's going to be the first game of the new year for us.
Oh, you haven't played anything
Like,
yet. It's already a week into
no,
the new year. You haven't played
yeah, I
anything.
know. But, well, my anniversary was last week, so I had to, I have
Okay. Happy
priorities. But
anniversary.
thank
Happy
you.
anniversary.
Yeah. So we only have 5 minutes left. I have to look, let's see if I have a question that I can cover in 5 minutes. Goodness. Okay. Well, this is sort of an easy one. Do you like reading? Like, what's your favorite book? Do you have a favorite book?
You haven't asked me that last time. No, you
I don't
haven't.
think I asked you last time, right? It's further down the list. That's why I figure we didn't get to it.
Um, this is a difficult case. Somebody asked me that recently, and they threw me off the. Oh yes, and I gave a. That wasn't our interview. No, it
Do you have
wasn't.
much time for reading?
Um, um, you sometimes I read in the evening in bed or so. Yes. So,
Okay.
but I don't have much time for reading. I read two types of books. I like reading a lot of non-fiction because I'm just interested. And you see, this is the new one I started because I
Chemistry.
is it
Is a
German? Yeah,
visual,
it's
is it a
chemistry.
visual?
Chemistry.
Actually, I'm
Because
curious. Can you flip what page open that book open? I'm very curious about that book now.
sorry.
Yeah. Can you flip a page? Oh my gosh, I want that book. Yeah,
And
let's go.
so, sometimes I read these little fictions because I thought, oh, I forgot so much from school. I mean, I studied physics and mathematics, but chemistry is very nice. And unfortunately, I gave away my school book, so I said I want to fresh up on this. So, cutting a long story short, I read every now and then a little bit of non-fiction books just to see what's out there. There were also management books. I like them. I like time management books and I have a
Okay.
100,000 time managed
So
books
like,
book,
yeah,
which I'm not getting
like
around to reading because I have no time.
exactly. Like,
Irony
you have
in
to manage your
itself.
time to read the manage time management book.
Yes. Yes.
I think I'm similar. Like I've gotten into Dungeon Crawler Carl, by the way. It's a fantasy book that I've been just I haven't read books in a long time, fiction for fun in a long time, and that is I hope you someday will come across Dungeon Crawler Carl and maybe make a game about it. It's a wonderful world. Not that
and
wonderful.
and
Um,
and but the other type of books I read is fiction, but only science fiction. So I
okay.
love science fiction, and now I have an easy answer because in the last interview they asked me, "What's your favorite book?" And I
Oh,
got thrown
another
by
book.
that, and then I gave
Yeah.
the wrong answer. I
Oh,
said
okay.
it's Ender's Game.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I read
It
that
has
book.
also
Yeah.
been made a
And a
movie about
movie.
it.
Yeah. Harrison
And then I
Ford.
said, no, we need to redo the whole interview because I have actually mentioned my second favorite book. My first favorite book is H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. And that is a
Oh,
wonderful book. It's a wonderful book. And actually, I'm just now reading a sequel to that, not by H.G. Wells, which is The Time Ships, where um, Stephen
time
Baxter
ships.
Stephen Baxter picked up the story, got inspired by that, and makes a second journey and That's quite interesting. So that's what I explore a little bit. But usually, when I start reading a book, it takes me about a month to finish it. And most of the
Do you
books I don't
do you
finish.
read paper books or do you do audio?
Both. Then
Both.
I'm an audio type, and so when I read books, then I read books. But when I read them on my tablet, then I have them read to me in high speed because I'm an
Oh,
audio
interesting.
version. Then I read it, and listen to it. So I'm not listening. Not It's not audio books, but it's reading it, but getting it read to me.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that's a quick answer, which we just got in.
I know we just got
Oh,
in right under the
so how
time.
many how many how
I
many
mean,
of the
I think we only did
42
like
questions?
off my list. I mean, we did one off the audience, but I mean that was on my list too. Um, oh, where are we? Gosh, I don't think we got very far. We might have to do another one of these pretty soon.
So I
Um,
must say I know your strategy. You
yeah,
are adding a few secret questions all the time. Then you throw
I
in
know.
the
Well,
audience, so you bribe the
yeah,
audience. And so once again, at the end of this interview, you will suggest that we do a sequel. And
we'll
then
probably have to do another
criticize me
sequel.
again that the 40 is in the
We have to change
background.
it. What can you scratch that out and put a one on there?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, but we will do this. I'm sure that this will go on for the whole year. And when we sit there early next year, I will make a 42 for you.
Okay. Gotcha. That would be
Because
good.
I know your
Oh,
system
you
now.
have to make a
Every two
42.
months, every two
Yeah.
months we make the interview, and you will always come up with the questions. And I will always try to avoid the questions and give long answers, and we'll never reach the end. It's a never-ending story.
Oh, well, hopefully that'll be good. It's like what's that? Career uh job security. There you go.
Job
Job security.
security.
You can never finish the interview.
Okay,
Well,
very
thank
good.
you again, Reiner, for giving me your time and happy new year. I wish you all the success in your new games and have a great are you going to the Nuremberg Toy Fair? I think that's the next one, right?
Yes, of course. That's
Okay.
in less than 3 weeks. It's
3 weeks
yeah.
away. It would be cold. Is it cold in Germany right now?
It is quite cold, you know. Yes, yes, it's up
By the way,
in.
it's 68 in Dallas today. Not cold, but I'm wearing my jacket because I'm kind of chilly for some reason. I don't know why. It's
No,
not
no,
cold out though.
we are well below freezing and have snow here and everything. So
Okay, great.
good.
Well, and thanks everybody for watching, and thank you, Reiner, again.